Hello, YouTube. This is Ryan, aka Habitual Line Stepper. Hope this video finds you well, and hope you are at peace. If you are not at peace, I want you to pursue your peace and do it with everything you have. I have a message today, and my message is you owe it to yourself to endure whatever you need to endure and push past to get your peace of mind. Sometimes that means walking away from people, places, things, and circumstances. Sometimes it means confronting those things. Nothing gets done without some hard work that is worth doing. You're gonna have people in this world who just doesn't get it. They're not gonna get anything that you're trying to do. And it's not for them to get. It's for you to get. And you owe it to yourself to prepare and endure those things. And be 10 toes down and making sure you get it. You're gonna have people out here, like I said, who's going to be obstacles in your way. Who's going to keep certain information from you, lie by omission, and make your path a lot harder. And sometimes it's not always in a bad. And the person's bad. They just don't. They're misguided. They're misdirected. But you have to develop. You have to take it upon yourself to do your own research. Use your mind, use your gut. As I tell you, every time I use my gut, it has helped me out more times than not. Many more times than not. Anytime I don't go with my gut, it seems like things don't go right. And that gut is telling me, you know what? You owe it to yourself to be the person that you want to be at peace, to be fulfilled. Those things are important. This life journey, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of moving parts. You control what you can control. And you let the chips fall where they may. The things that you know you should be doing, do them. If you're in college, get that degree. If you're in a trade, get that certification, get that license. If you're in a bad relationship, get out. If that relationship is showing that, hey, there's no end to the turmoil, get out. Life is too short. If you're around a toxic family member, you gotta let them go. You gotta let them go. Toxic people will keep you from your destiny. For whatever reason, they will keep you from your destiny. And you have to be so focused and so driven that you know, I'm going to hit my destiny. I'm going to do what I need to do. I remember when I was working in retail a long time ago. And, you know, I was just starting out. You know, it was like, you know, one of the first jobs that I've had. And I was just a young guy, you know, in the world, you know, just trying to make it. And I remember there were so many older adults, much older than me. If I'm like 22, 23, you had people in their 40s and 50s where life had beat them down and they did not want to see a young kid come through, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tail, you know, and either match or exceed what they were trying to do. Didn't want to see you. Didn't like the fact you were there. Doesn't know you for nothing, but didn't like the fact you were there. You know, and again, when you're coming into this world, you don't know nothing coming out because it's all unknown. You don't know anything about working with people who, you know, who have mental obstacles in terms of how they view the world, their perception of the world, the perception of you, them thinking that they know who you are, have no idea. who you are, but they got these preconceived notions of who you are. So it's like they automatically declare war on you, and here you are just trying to make it. That's all you're trying. You're just trying to make it. You're just trying to be, build your little world, and you got these people in your way. You know, even decision makers, people in your way. You got to make a determination. You gonna succeed regardless of whatever they're throwing at you. You allow yourself options, even when you're starting out. You allow yourself options. In my case, I kept other employers, in motion. I was like, listen, I'm gonna interview here. I'm gonna keep my eyes open here. I'm gonna keep my ears open here. I'm gonna read up on some things, and just constantly keep myself in a position where opportunity can find me. Because when you come tunnel vision and you just focus on the circumstance that you're in, you'll miss a lot of opportunities. And when I was dealing with these people who I was working with as a young person trying to come into, his own, I owed it to myself to push past it. I said, hey, shit, y'all not gonna beat me. Sorry for the cussing. Y'all not gonna beat me. I was a young kid. I knew I had time, good Lord willing, I had time on my hand. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna sit around here and let you guys may be, even though I don't believe that personally, but they were pretty much setting their path. Their lives was pretty much, that's how their life is gonna be. They pretty much resign themselves to the fact that they will be working in that position for the rest of their lives, and that's all it is. And I think that was added to some of their misery. Not to mention whatever they were dealing in their own personal life. But on the job, when you're working in a majority of the time, that's where the majority of your life is spent at work. If you're not happy, it's going to show itself. Because work is it for you. This is it. You don't have any other aspirations or goals or anything like that, and you hate what you do, but it pays the bills. And you're there so long that anytime anybody new come across, you're like, what the hell they're smiling for? They think it's just a terrible situation. But as a young person, I knew, listen, I want to succeed here, but I'm allowing myself options because I know I have the benefit of time. And I know who I am as a person as far as me having motion. I owed it to myself to explore every option I possibly had. So that's what I did. I kept myself in the loop, as far as new job opportunities. I made sure that, I was respectful at the job, just in case they decide, hey, you know what? There's an opportunity for him. I like him. Let me see if we can promote this guy. Let's see if, he'll fit in this. Or keep your options open. Because at the end of the day, my mindset was, this is just a job. Where they're trying to make it personal, I said, this is just a job. Because I owed it to myself. I owed it to myself to learn these lessons of how people are and adjust myself in terms of, okay, when they bob, I'm gonna weave. I'm not gonna play their game because I don't have to play their game. I believe I can bend their will to mine. They may not know it, but just because you think you won doesn't necessarily mean you won. It doesn't mean that you won. So what I used to do, like I said, whenever I get a hard time, I would keep my option open, and I would do what I was told to do, what I was paid to do, and in my mind, I'm methodically thinking, what's my next step? Currently, is to get this money. Stack it, and have this money work for me. In a sense that if I need to find another job or need to have a plane ticket to interview in another state, I would have that money on the side. I have a little bit of extra money just in case something happens as far as emergencies. I made sure that I was as stable as I possibly could be so opportunity could find me. So, again, don't allow people who have a poor perception of you based on zero affect what path you're going in this life. Like I said, I knew I didn't know a lot in terms of what the real world was after you graduated college, try to get a job. But I knew enough that I said, hey, I can learn how to navigate this thing and get what I want. I didn't want to be in retail, never did, and I'm glad I'm out. I've been out for a long time now, but that was my first job. That was one of my first careers, and I was like, you got to do what you got to do while you're here. It's a stepping stone for me, and that's what I use it as, a stepping stone, because I had aspirations to do other things, and with that kind of mindset and that kind of perseverance, I was able to elevate and get into a position where, I'm basically, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with what I've done. I would not change anything as far as where I stand with anybody at this point in my life. There's nobody who out here who I envy, because I put in the work. I know what I had to do. And I know what I'm able to do now allows me flexibility. It allows me to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I'm thankful for that. But I'm thankful to me, because I'm the one who had to endure and learn the lessons, because I owed it to myself. I owed it to myself to be disciplined in my reactions, disciplined in my thoughts, disciplined in my behavior, disciplined in my social life, because I realized that for me to be disciplined is learning some lessons and teaching others who I am. Because when people see that you are easily angered and you start, just reacting emotionally, they realize that they won, and they have won. But when they see that you are poised and you are disciplined, and that the way you address matters is better and is more definitive in terms of them understanding where you're coming from. Because the scariest thing you can do as a person who has a rival is to remain calm, disciplined, straight to the point. When that happens, they realize they don't have you. And you owe it to yourself for that. You owe it to yourself to be that disciplined, because it pays off in the end. You're structured, and it makes the point when it comes to family, which is oftentimes the harder thing. You owe it to yourself to know when to distance yourself from them. You owe it to yourself for that. Because family, as I said in previous videos, can be your downfall, because people have this blind loyalty because it's your blood. Oh, that's my blood, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my dad, that's my mom, that's my cousin. People have this blind loyalty. I don't believe in blind loyalty. No, I don't. Because I owe it to myself to open my eyes and think logically. I owe it to myself. You're not loyal to people who have proven that they don't have your best interests at heart. You don't do that's stupidity. Your life gets much better when you realize that your value is realized by you. They may not get it, but if you get it, they'll get it. Because you're going to carry yourself in a way where you're not going to tolerate disrespect from anyone. If you're respectful, you're disciplined, people will see how much you value yourself. They'll still hate you, but they're going to respect you, because they realize that this man or this woman understands who they are, and anything I do, despite anything I do, is not going to affect who that person is or what that person does. And you owe yourself that kind of power. Most people can't do that. Figure out what it is that you want out of this life, and you govern yourself accordingly. Don't allow this world to determine who you're going to be. You owe it to yourself to step outside the societal norms and people's expectations of you, and find out what your true purpose is on this planet. It don't matter what anybody else says. You may have people in your family who love you, who genuinely are trying to give you good advice, but at the end of the day, they're not walking your path. For those people who do love you and who are trying to point you in a certain direction, you give them their love and respect. You give them their love and respect because they're genuinely coming from a good place. It may be misguided, but if they've shown you that, hey, I love you, I would not knowingly hurt you, you give them their respect, but you kindly say, you know what, I know you love me, but this is something I have to do. And if they love and respect you, they'll understand. They'll allow you that space. They may not understand it, but they'll say, you know what, all right, you got it. Do those things that you must do. Now, speaking of, you owe it to yourself. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this video real long, but speaking of, you owe it to yourself. Don't be afraid to pay the price, whatever that price is. Sometimes it takes blood, sweat, and tears to get to where you need to get to. Sometimes it's going to be scary. Do it scared. Do it scared. Do it scared. Most things worth having and achieving in this life, peace being one of them, fulfillment being another, is going to take some blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing in this life comes easy, especially those things worth having. And when you have that kind of peace of mind and spirit, everything falls into place. Everything seems better. The air seems fresher. The food tastes better. The water tastes better. Everything tastes better. The things that used to make you angry don't make you angry anymore. It's hard for people to get under your skin because you have paid the price, and now you're reaping the benefits of having a peaceful life where it is impossible for somebody to disrupt that. You owe it to yourself to endure and to learn from those things so you can get to that level of peace and understanding of yourself. Because if you fully understand you and what makes you happy and what makes you content and fulfilled, when you have that knowledge of yourself and you have built your world where you can be at peace because of those things, that is when you have made it. You will be impregnable. There would not be a force out there that could dissuade your peace. Keep that in mind, because that's ultimately what you want. All the money in the world won't do that. All the material things in the world won't do that. All the family in the world won't do that. As much as you come from a very loving family, but if you're not fortified yourself, if you haven't come to terms with yourself, life will come and destroy your peace. Your family is not going to take care of you, like I said, to the level that you would take care of yourself. Take the responsibility, pay the cost, put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get the life that you want. So once you get it, you can sit back and say, damn, I really did that. And I'm so much at peace with what I have done and what I will endure. Like I said, I've gotten to the point, things don't make me mad like they used to. They don't, because peace provided me with options. It provided me with plenty of options. I don't have to deal with intolerable people or situations. And the thing is, they know it too. It's an aura that you have. People know when they can't get to you because they don't have access to you. Though it changes. It changes everything. Because they know there's nothing that I can say to this man. There's nothing I could do to this man. Because he has so many options, I can't even get to this man. So I'm just gonna end it with, you owe it to yourself to be the best self that you can be, to be at the peace, to explore, to take risks. Calculated risks, but take risks that's going to benefit your life, that's going to make you a better person, a better version of you. You owe it to yourself. So I hope this message hit you. And pursue your peace. If you got anything from this message, please like, subscribe, and comment. Like I said, pursue your peace with everything you got. Let's get it.